Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome to this morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. It's given by Srila Prabhupada. It's a recording of a class given in New York in 1973. Canto 1, Chapter 15, Text 1. Without further ado, we'll start the class. Hare Krishna.
Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sūta uvāca evaṁ kṛṣṇa-sakhaḥ kṛṣṇo bhrātrā rājñā vikalpitaḥ nānā-śaṅkāspadaṁ rūpaṁ kṛṣṇa-viśleṣa-karśitaḥ sūta uvāca evaṁ kṛṣṇa-sakhaḥ kṛṣṇo bhrātrā rājñā vikalpitaḥ nānā-śaṅkāspadaṁ rūpaṁ kṛṣṇa-viśleṣa-karśitaḥ sūta uvāca evaṁ kṛṣṇa-sakhaḥ kṛṣṇo bhrātrā rājñā vikalpitaḥ nānā-śaṅkāspadaṁ rūpaṁ kṛṣṇa-viśleṣa-karśitaḥ sūta uvāca evaṁ kṛṣṇa-sakhaḥ kṛṣṇo bhrātrā rājñā vikalpitaḥ nānā-śaṅkāspadaṁ rūpaṁ kṛṣṇa-viśleṣa-karśitaḥ
Sūta uvāca evaṁ kṛṣṇa-sakhaḥ kṛṣṇo rājñā vikalpitaḥ nānā-śaṅkāspadaṁ rūpaṁ kṛṣṇa-viśleṣa-karśitaḥ
Sūta uvāca
evaṁ kṛṣṇa-sakhaḥ kṛṣṇo
bhrātrā rājñā vikalpitaḥ
nānā-śaṅkāspadaṁ rūpaṁ kṛṣṇa-viśleṣa-karśitaḥ sūta uvāca evaṁ kṛṣṇa-sakhaḥ kṛṣṇo bhrātrā rājñā vikalpitaḥ nānā-śaṅkāspadaṁ rūpaṁ kṛṣṇa-viśleṣa-karśitaḥ sūta uvāca evaṁ kṛṣṇa-sakhaḥ kṛṣṇo bhrātrā rājñā vikalpitaḥ nānā-śaṅkāspadaṁ rūpaṁ kṛṣṇa-viśleṣa-karśitaḥ.
Word meaning.
Sūta uvāca Sūta Goswami said evaṁ thus kṛṣṇa-sakhaḥ the celebrated friend of Krishna Krishna Arjuna bhrātrā by his elder brother rājñā King Yudhishthira Avikalpita speculated nānā various śaṅkāspadam based on many doubts rūpaṁ forms Krishna Lord Shri Krishna Viśleṣa feelings of separation Karśitaḥ became greatly bereaved. Translation. Sūta Goswami said, Arjuna, the celebrated friend of Lord Krishna, was grief-stricken because of his strong feeling of separation from Krishna. Over and above all, Maharaj Yudhisthira's speculative inquiries.
So evaṁ kṛṣṇa-sakhaḥ Kṛṣṇa. Arjun's name is kṛṣṇa-sakhaḥ, and he is also called sometimes Kṛṣṇa, because Arjun's bodily feature was almost similar to Krishna's bodily feature. So, he was morose, being separated from Krishna, and his elder brother was suggesting whether you are morose for this reason or that reason or this reason. Actually, he was unhappy on account of being separated from Krishna. Similarly, not only Arjuna, all of us, we are also, as Krishna, Arjuna is also a living entity. We are also living entity. So, we are also unhappy because we are separated from Krishna. These modern philosophers or scientists, they may suggest or they may go on thinking otherwise, that they can improve the world situation in their own way, but that is not possible. We are unhappy on account of being separated from Krishna. They do not know that. Just like a child is crying, and nobody can say why he is crying. But actually, a child is generally in crying condition, being separated from the mother. So not only it is the question of Arjuna or Krishna, every one of us, in the Upanishad it is said that Paramatma, Krishna, and the living entity, they are sitting on the same tree. Samane vrikshe. One living entity is eating the fruit of the tree, and the other living entity is simply witnessing, anuvanta. So Krishna is situated in everyone's heart. Ishara sarvabhutanam riddeshe arjuna tishthati. Because without his sanction, the living entity cannot do anything. Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishta. Krishna says that I am seated in everyone's heart. So the living entity wants to do something out of his own whims. Krishna says, or Krishna gives good consultation, that this will not make you happy. Don't do this. But he is persistent, he will do it. Then Krishna sanctions, Paramatma, all right, you do it at your risk. This is going on. Every one of us very intimately connected with Krishna. And Krishna is sitting in everyone's heart. Krishna is so kind that he is simply waiting when this rascal will turn his face towards me. He is simply looking. He is so kind. But we living entities, we are so rascal, we shall turn our face to everything except Krishna. This is our position. We want to be happy with so many ideas. Everyone is making his own idea. Now this is, but these rascals do not know that what is the actual process for getting happiness. That is Kṛṣṇa. That they do not. Nate vidu sārtha gatin hi Vishnu durāsaya je bahirarthamani. You can see in your country. They are trying so many things. So many skyscraper buildings, so many motor cars, so many big cities, but there is no happiness. Because they do not know what is missing. That missing point we are giving. Here is, you take Kṛṣṇa and you will be happy. This is our Kṛṣṇa consciousness. Kṛṣṇa and the living entity, they are very intimately connected. Like father and son, or friend, or master and servant, like that. We are very much intimately connected. But because we have forgotten our intimate relationship with Kṛṣṇa and trying to become happy in this material world, therefore we have to undergo so much tribulations. This is it. Kṛṣṇa bhuliya jiva bhogavancha kare. We living entities, we are trying to become happy within this material world. Why we are in the material world? Why not in the spiritual world? In the spiritual world, nobody can become enjoyer, bhokta. That is only supreme. Bhoktaram jaggadamasam sarva. There is no mistake. There are also living entities, but they know perfectly well that real enjoyer, proprietor is Kṛṣṇa. That is spiritual kingdom. Similarly, even in this material world, if we understand perfectly well that we are not enjoyer, Kṛṣṇa is enjoyer, then it is spiritual world. This Kṛṣṇa consciousness movement is trying to convince everyone that we are not enjoyer. Enjoyer is Kṛṣṇa. Just like this whole body. The enjoyer is the stomach, and the hands and legs and eyes and ears and brains and everything. These should be engaged to find out the enjoyable things and put it in the stomach. This is natural. Similarly, we are part and parcel of God or Kṛṣṇa. We are not enjoyer. In every religion it is accepted. Just like in Christian religion also it is said, "O God, give us our daily bread." Bread we cannot manufacture. It must come from God. That is Vedic also version. Nitya nityanang cetanas cetananang eko jo bahunam vidudhati kaman. God or Kṛṣṇa, He gives everything, necessities of life, as you like. But if you accept your enjoyable things as you like, then you become entangled. But if you accept things to be enjoyed by you, tena taktena bhunjita, as Kṛṣṇa offers you, then you become happy. If you make, just like a diseased patient, if he wants to enjoy life in his own whimsical way, he'll continue his disease. But if he accepts the modes of life according to the direction of the physician, then he becomes free from it. So there are two methods, pravritti and nivitti. Pravritti means, I have got inclination to eat this or to enjoy this, why not? I shall do it. I have got my freedom. But you have no freedom, sir. You are simply, that is maya. You have no freedom. We get experience. Suppose there is very nice palatable food. If I think, let me eat as much possible. The next day I will have to starve, immediately dysentery or indigestion. So you cannot violate the laws of Kṛṣṇa or laws of nature. That is not possible. You are not at all independent. Because these rascals, they will not understand this. They are always thinking we are independent. That is the cause of all unhappiness. Nobody is independent. How you can be independent? Nobody is independent, neither you can be independent, neither nobody is independent factually. Who is independent? Here you are sitting so many boys and girls who can say, I am independent of everything. No, nobody can say that. So this is our mistake, and by misusing our independence, we are suffering in this material world in so many ways. That has to be reformed, that has to be checked. That is Krishna consciousness movement. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has preached, Jiven Sarupaya Nitya Krishna Das. We living entities, we are eternally servant of Krishna. That is our position. But if we deny this position, then why shall I become servant of Krishna? I am independent. Then suffering begins immediately. Krishna bhuliyaji bhogavancha kare, as soon as he desires to enjoy independently, immediately, that means immediately he is captured by Maya. Krishna bhuliyaji bhogavancha kare, pasate mayatare japotiya dhare. It is very easy to understand. Just like if you don't care for the government laws, if you want to live independently, that means immediately you are in the clutches of the police force. You haven't got to create, it is already there. So our position is always dependent on God. We should understand this. This is Krishna consciousness. Therefore, Bhaktivinoda Thakur has a song, Manasa deho geho jo kichu mor, ottinu tua pade nanda kishor. This mistake is going on. That I am independent king and my soldiers are my society, community, family, or so many we have been manufactured. But dehapatta kalatrādīṣu ātmasainyeshu asassu api tasya nidhanam pramatya pasyannapi na pasyati. Just like a man fights, just like Hitler declared war, or so many wars are declared, this man is declared. Everyone is thinking I am independent. And we are thinking that we have got so many soldiers, so many atomic bombs and so many aeroplanes, we shall come out victorious. Similarly, each and every one of us, we are thinking I am independent and my wife, my children, my society, they are my soldiers. If I am in danger, they will help me. This is going on. This is called Maya. Pramatta tasya nidhanam pasyannapi na pasyati. Because we have become mad after this so-called independence of God, we are thinking these things will help us, will protect us. That is Maya. Tasya nidhanam, everyone will be destroyed. Nobody will be able to give us protection. If real protection is wanted, you will have to take protection of Kṛṣṇa. That is the instruction of Bhagavad. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam vraja. You rascal, you are thinking that so many things will give you protection. That will not be possible. You will be finished and your so-called protector and friends and soldiers, they will be finished. You don't depend on that. Sarvadharman purita. Mam ekang sarva. You just surrender unto me. I will give you protection. Aham ta sarva papipa. Mokkhaśyami. Ma sucho. This is real protection. Everyone is falsely thinking independent, but he is dependent. But he is depending on false platform. That is the mistake of this material civilization. They are thinking of protection from a tilting platform, material world. So we have to take shelter of Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa is very friendly to all of us. Therefore he comes down from Vaikuntha to inform this. That is Bhagavad Gita. And that is elaborately explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the only thing. So the crisis, people are faced with so many crises, problems, that I told in the airport. The reporter asked me, what is the solution of this crisis coming? And solution is Krishna consciousness. It is already there. But you rascal, you will not take it. Solution is already there. If the Arabians think that this oil is Krishna's property, and the others purchasers, they also think Krishna's property, then they must agree also, America also must agree that this land of America is also Krishna's property. If you think that the Arabian oil is Krishna's property, God's property, we shall take it by force, then why the Arabians should not be allowed to come from the desert and live in America? But the foolish, they will not come. They have got United Nations. But the United Nations means simply committing mistake. That's all. That is their business. Why don't you unite it? Yes, this Arabian oil is Krishna's property. Similarly, the Australian land or the African land or this American land, so vast tract of land. But no, you cannot come here. Go. Immigration department. You see? Go department. So this nonsense, these rascals, all these politicians, they are spoiling the situation, but they are so big rascal, they will not accept this solution. Take Krishna concentration and everything will be solved. That's a fact. Mudha, but they are so rascal, duskitina, and full of sinful activities. Namanga duskitina mudha prapadanti narana, lowest of the mankind. So always remember that our preaching work is dealing with these kind of men. Duskritina means full of sinful activities, mudha, rascals, naradhama, lowest of the mankind, and maya, abhritagana, and they are thinking they are very much advanced in education, but full number one, maya has taken their real knowledge. Maya, abhritagana. Asuri bhavamasa. Why all these things? Because they are godless. Only fault is godless. Asuri bhavamasa. Because they have taken the position, there is no God. These big scientists, they are trying to prove there is no God. This creation is due from matter, from chemical. The water has come from chemical combination, hydrogen, oxygen. These are all foolish theories, and they are getting Nobel Prize. They are getting Nobel Prize. This is the position. Therefore, from this verse we should know, evaṁ kṛṣṇa-sakhaḥ kṛṣṇo, bhrātrā rājñā vikalpitaḥ. nānā-śaṅkāspadaṁ. These rascals, our elder brother, advanced, they are suggesting this is the cause of. This is the cause of, this is the cause of, this is the cause of. When the only cause is Krishna, forgetfulness of Krishna, that they do not know. The only cause. Kṛṣṇa bhuliya jiva bhoga vancha kare pasate mayatare japudi. This is the cause. So try to preach this kind, but not that everyone will accept, but even a few percent, 1% of the whole population accept. Just like in the sky there is one moon only, and there are millions of stars. They are useless. What is the value of the millions of stars? But one moon, it dissipate the whole darkness of the night. Similarly, at least those who have taken to Krishna consciousness, you become, each of you become a moon and enlighten the world. And these so-called glowworms, they will not be able to do anything. That's a fact. Don't remain a glowworm, just become a sun and moon. Then people will be happy, he will be happy. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. So another wonderful lecture by Srila Prabhupada, albeit a relatively short one. It's about 8:30 now. This is the time that we'd like the devotees to unmute themselves and begin a discussion. If you don't mind, if you could affable, please take a humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Maybe you can kick us off with the discussion.
Please accept mine, Parikshit Prabhu.
Yeah.
I happened to be there at this lecture in New York in 1973. So I remember this. A couple of strong points that Prabhupada was making in the beginning, that separated from Krishna, you can't be happy. And just as Arjuna now is separated from Krishna after he came back from Dwarka, seeing to meet Krishna, but Krishna had left the planet. And I was thinking that, there's so many different philosophies in the material world. And I remember in school, when we finally got to be like a senior in high school, there was a humanities class. And in the humanities class, then they started teaching us a little philosophy. I don't know if that's the same in other parts of the world, but I grew up in Indiana. And so the culmination of philosophy was existential philosophy. Existential philosophy. And the prime question in existential philosophy, or one of the main questions, is, should you commit suicide? You know this?
Never heard of that.
Yeah, it's like, and so the culmination of philosophy comes to this point. It just shows, it reflects the same idea. People, because in the material world, philosophy means there's no happiness. So without any happiness, of course, you commit suicide. But we're so fortunate that there's an alternative, and instead of forgetting Krishna, and in the midst of forgetting Krishna, becoming despondent, by learning to take steps to Krishna and even become Krishna conscious, there's real happiness, tangible happiness. So that stuck with me from that first point.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the takeaways that you have. And it's interesting when you said that when the lecture was given in New York that you were there. Sometimes it is obviously, it brings to mind, or brings back to mind, the situation, the environment, everything when you're there for the lectures. That's one thing that Srila Prabhupada disciples have that the rest of us don't have. That's why we like to hear more descriptions.
An interesting thing also is Srila Prabhupada was making comment about oil near the end. Did you get that?
Yeah.
And what was going on at that time, there was an oil embargo.
When OPEC was formed at that time?
Yeah. I think we talked about this last time too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that he was making these comments about oil and that everything belongs to Krishna.
Yes.
So that's an important point too. That's
Definitely.
going on today too. Everybody's fighting over this and that. They're thinking we're from this country, we're from that country. This land belongs to us. This land belongs to us. So there's fighting. But
Yeah.
Prabhupada introduced when there was the Vietnam War, which was quite controversial, at least as it went on. Then Srila Prabhupada wrote or discussed that pamphlet, the peace formula. And the first, according to Mukunda Maharaj, the first Harinam, public Harinam in New York was not at Washington Square Park or Tompkins Square Park. It was at the UN, according to Mukunda's. Yeah. He said that they went there early in the morning, and it was to chant for peace for the Vietnam War. And Srila Prabhupada passed out those. They printed the peace formula, and chanted for about 2 hours, and then somebody came out and said, "No, you can't chant out loud. You have to do it softly." Then in the Lilamrita, it says immediately the guy came out and said they didn't chant at all, and later they went to Tompkins Square. But anyway, the Mukunda Maharaj was also there, and so was Satsarup Maharaj. But anyway, that's how he said it. So peace formula right off the bat, and to deal with the troubles in the world, Srila Prabhupada had the solution, which was Krishna consciousness.
Did they say the solution was Krishna consciousness, or did Srila Prabhupada have the quotation from Bhagavad Gita like Bhuktaraya Gyasapa?
Yeah, both.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I just wondered. Thank you very much for, so it was actually United Nations that the first Harinam of sorts was started then.
Well, like I said, that's what Mukunda Maharaj says.
Okay.
Satsarup Maharaj says it was actually at Washington Square Park. And then there's some quotes Prabhupada said it was at Tompkins Square. But anyway, it was one of the early kirtans. Yeah. There's a plaque at Tompkins Square Park saying that's the first one that some devotees got it commemorated by the mayor of New York at some point. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, either way, but it was one of the early ones was there in the United Nations, and of course, chronologically, that was before the ones at Washington Square or Tompkins Square. But the question was whether they actually did the kirtan or not, because Satsarup Maharaj says that they were going to do the kirtan, but somebody came out and said, no, you can't do it, and so they just chanted japa. Whereas Mukunda Maharaj says they chanted for a couple hours, and then the person came out and said, no, stop. And so then they chanted japa.
Okay. That's not very surprising. People might think that two different devotees have given two different accounts, but that just happens in the Shastra so many times. Always the bottom line thing, though, is always there. Sometimes the details may change a little bit, but the bottom line is always there. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavad is like that also.
Yes.
Sometimes details are given here, but the essence is never missed. The fact is they had Harinam. The fact is they went out and chanted in New York.
Yes.
And I literally, if I might stretch this a little bit, still with Krishna consciousness, I really appreciate the situation we have in New York. That Fifth Avenue Rath Yatra is allowed there. To this day, it just blows my mind. The commies actually allow, Rath Yatra, because Fifth Avenue to Srila Prabhupada is one of the most important business streets in one of the most important material cities in the world. And we still have the Rath Yatra right there. The United States, the police force and everything, they allow the whole thing to be quite well organized. Well protected, and the whole, not many people still go through.
There's a story behind that,
If you can say it.
In 1962, the mayor gave an edict that there was going to be no more parades allowed down Fifth Avenue. 1962, which was 14 years before this one. And so Srila Prabhupada wanted Rath Yatra in New York, And he called from India to talk to the devotees in New York. Please, have you gotten the permit? Have you gotten the permit? And in those days, especially from India, Srila Prabhupada didn't call because if people remember, like it would take a month or so, or at least a week to get calls phone through from India to United States.
Yeah.
So a devotee named Toshan Krishna Prabhu, he took it really as his service to really work hard to get the permit. And they had gone through so many different committees and stuff like that. And so finally, he went and he thought, well, let me just try to push it through. So he brought the permit to one office in center city of New York, and the person said, yeah, no problem, we'll send it down to the person who needs to sign it, no problem. But then he thought, no, I'm going to take it myself. So he went down to the police headquarters, which is way down by Wall Street at the end of the island. And he went up to the 8th floor through many security things and came to the office of the chief of police. And he met the secretary, and the secretary, he showed the secretary what he wanted the chief of police to sign. And she looked at it and she said, he can't sign this. He can't sign this. The mayor said 15 years ago, there's no more parades on Fifth Avenue. That's it. Sorry. So what he did was he jumped over the turnstile and went right into the chief of police's office. The chief of police was sitting there, and kind of a rotund, chubby guy, an old man, and he was, doing something, playing something. And he walked right in and said, "Sir, I would like you to sign this." And he put it on the table. And the man took a look at him. Of course, he's a devotee, and he started chuckling. He chuckled. And then he took it. He says, "I have no idea why I'm going to sign this, but I'm going to sign it." And he signed it. and he said that Toshan Krishna Prabhu said that Krishna was the super soul of that person's heart. He could see that the super soul was having him sign it like that.
Absolutely.
And so even though it was forbidden, it still happened. That was one part of that.
That's wonderful. It's a comment made by the chief of police. I don't know why I'm signing it, but I'll sign anyway. That's definitely Paramatma, pushed for that to happen, and it's hard to do it. And now we have a wonderful, like year in, year out, we have a wonderful Rathayatra in New York. And for that matter, many cities around the world at this point. Srila Prabhupada's conqueror, spiritual conqueror, as far as some of us can see. Anyway, what is other comments from this, other takeaways that you would like to bring up, discuss? Yeah.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisance to Mr. Prabhupada. I was just reading the last paragraph of Prabhupada's transcription lecture where he said to become the moon. And it's the same thing that Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj said about Prabhupada. What is the need of many stars that when there is one moon in the sky? So I was just thinking how Sri Prabhupada is encouraging, at least for me, I feel, I'm feeling that realization that Prabhupada is encouraging us to become that moon, and
Yeah, he says that.
Yeah.
He actually says that last paragraph.
Yeah.
So it's important. Each of you become a moon and enlighten the world.
Yes.
Yeah. This scientist, the glowworms, he didn't say scientists, but I'm calling them glowworm scientists. They will not be able to do anything. Don't remain a glowworm. Just become a moon. So Srila Prabhupada was actually really encouraging us to take things, if you don't mind, I'll bring another quote from your godbrother, my spiritual master, Bhaktisiddhanta Swami. He said, "I'm not interested in foot soldiers. I'm interested in generals." Again.
Yeah.
So the foot soldiers are like the stars, and the generals are the sun and moon. Srila Prabhupada is saying the same thing. In other words, take on the responsibility that makes a difference in people's lives.
Yes.
That's the whole thing. Both in the temple and outside the temple. Like that.
Yeah.
Hmm? Yeah. Then he says, then you will be happy. You will be happy, people will be happy. So that's the peace formula, I guess, or the happiness formula.
Yes. Yes, that's right. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Yeah.
That was a nice quote by Prabhupada, how it says, because I mean, I've heard that only from Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj telling Prabhupada, and now Prabhupada is sharing that mercy to tell us that we should also become the moon. So, yeah, I was just thinking about that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is possible. Srila Prabhupada said impossible is a word in the fool's dictionary.
Yeah.
Impossible is a word in the fool's dictionary. Because Krishna, through him, everything is possible. Therefore, if you want to serve through Krishna consciousness to benefit the whole world, you should never think that something is impossible. No, it may take time to do it, but it's definitely possible. As we're
Yes.
seeing all around us, one temple is coming, temple building after another, after another, after another. All of these wonderful buildings for the temples are being constructed now. Every single one of they're not thinking it can't be done. We started very humble with a building that didn't have much, that couldn't offer to devotees. But then they thought of, let's make a more facility to serve the devotees properly and serve the deities properly. And it does happen. It will happen. One city after another, this has happened. So we should never be to give up and say, "Oh, this is impossible." There should be no pessimism in Krishna consciousness. No pessimism. To always think positively, optimistically, because it will get done. Hare Krishna. Any
Hare
other?
Krishna.
Okay. Any other comments? Just let me put in a plug that we got only a few days to go. Saturday would come. And when Saturday comes, Lord Jagannath will be at City Island in Harrisburg for the Rath Yatra, the 15th annual Rath Yatra at City Island. It may be a little challenging until this time because of the construction work that's being done. But Rath Yatra, construction or no construction, it will definitely happen. So please come. It starts around 11:30. Those who contributed quite a bit of Lakshmi, over 500 or over, will actually participate in. Anshria, do you want to, in an announcement, you're the president, you want to talk about it a little more? Okay, she got off temporarily.
About?
Yeah, you want to talk about the Rath Yatra, or you want me to continue?
Well, yeah, so well, first I would like to actually humbly invite Vishnugata Prabhu for our Rath Yatra this Saturday, Prabhu. We are hoping and praying that you are coming, Prabhu.
Oh, you want a response from me or what?
Yes, yes, Prabhu.
He just wants to be
We
sure
would,
that you'll come.
yeah, we
I
would.
was planning to come.
Oh,
Okay.
great.
This morning, I got a call from Tawako that one of the original founders of the temple passed away this morning, and they asked me to come and do the funeral rites for him. I don't know when it's going to be. It may be Friday. It may be Saturday. So if it's Saturday, I can't come. If it's Friday, then I'll come.
Thank you
Okay.
so much, Prabhu. We would really love your presence and your blessings and your mercy, Prabhu. Thank you so much. And I think I think I saw the news this morning that he was, yesterday, that he was admitted. So I guess he left his body. That's really sad. One of the founders.
Vrindavan Chandra, probably. Yeah.
Yes, that's his name. That's right, Prabhu. Vrindavan Chandra. That's right.
Yeah,
Yes,
there's
that's
a whole. There wouldn't be a temple there in Tawako if he wasn't there. At least in the beginning, that was.
Wow, amazing,
They
amazing.
made it happen. Same address, the same place that they are now?
Yeah.
Okay, so
there's a whole story. There's a long story. It's a very interesting and instructive story about the temple. At some point I can tell it, but not today, probably.
That's so nice, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, and we also like to let devotees know to please spread the word around, to please invite your friends and family, neighbors, anyone to come to our Rath Yatra. It's our 15th annual. We do have a coconut breaking ceremony for those devotees, the sponsors who sponsored 500 and above for our Rath Yatra. So we have, I think, about 15 sponsors for that amount. I think when I was working on that last night. So we are hoping for a very nice festival. I think we're expecting a bus of devotees coming from Queens, New York, I believe. I just got a message about that like a couple of weeks. So it's going to be a very nice festival. Of course, when Lord Jagannath is there, it's always a nice festival. That's the mercy of Lord Jagannath. So we invite devotees to please come out, spread the word around, help us to make this festival memorable for Lord Jagannath. Any service that you would like to do, please do contact us. There is always lots of service. There is never shortage of service when it comes to serving the Lord. So please do reach out to us if you would like to engage in any service to please Lord Jagannath. Hare Krishna.
All the way up to the day off. The Rath Yatra itself, even there,
It starts
just
tomorrow
come early.
evening. It starts tomorrow evening, all the services,
Come to the temple in the evening, like by 7, you should be there, or even sooner. And then assist in so many things. You're going to be making garlands, so many other things, preparation and cleaning, so much. Tomorrow, just start doing it. So you can come and help with the cleaning of containers and all of that you use for prasadam. All of that needs to get done. It's 1 year, then it's put away. So by the time it's taken after a year, obviously it needs cleaning before it can be used again. So that's just one service. And so many of them are there. So we can all be part of it and get the credit from Lord Jagannath. Hare Krishna. Okay, so any other comments? I'll just put in my takeaways from this, a little bit of it. So Krishna, Arjuna is kṛṣṇa-sakhaḥ, friend of Krishna, but it's also his body, Srila Prabhupada says, is similar to that of Krishna. And he was morose because of separation from Krishna. At this point, Srila Prabhupada stressed quite a bit, starting with Arjuna being morose because Krishna had left. Then he talked about scientists wanting to improve the world in their own way, but that's not possible. And actually, everybody is morose because of missing Krishna. People don't really know that. But the Lord is a Paramatma sitting in everybody's heart. He's so kind. The one living entity, he wants the living entity to turn to him. But in this country, people are trying to be happy by material improvement. But that's not possible without Krishna. Because we're very intimately connected with Krishna. But we are not seeking the reconnection with him. So we are struggling in the world. In other words, we were connected with Krishna in the spiritual world, then we fell down and came here. We have a chance to reconnect, but still we're trying to get some happiness through the material activities, and that will not give us happiness. All we do is give us struggle and more struggle and disappointment. Spiritual world, Sri Papa made the point, everyone knows that Krishna is the enjoyer. Krishna is the enjoyer. So they set their lives up based on Krishna enjoying. So if we understand even here in the material world that Krishna is the enjoyer, then that would be like, the mood would be like that of the spiritual world. And Krishna in the spiritual world, that's just so much happiness that's there. So if we accept what Krishna offers to us, then we'll be happy. And then Srila Prabhupada began to talk about the fact that we're not independent. We are all dependent on Krishna. But by misusing our small independence, we're suffering in this material world. We really are eternally servants of Krishna. So if we desire to enjoy separately, then immediately we'll be captured by Maya. We think we are independent, and our soldiers are our family members. And at the international levels, the Papa mentioned Hitler, that he thought he could independently control the world. In a small way, we also think like that. But then Srila Prabhupada says, rascals, if Krishna is saying, Sarvadharma Parityaja, we should surrender to him, and he will give us protection. Hmm? He talked about the land also. The people should understand the land is for Krishna. And the United Nations, well, they're there, but they are united only on the bodily level. So they're committing mistake after mistake after mistake, because you cannot unite at the bodily level. It has to be at the spiritual level. That's where the commonality is. So people have become godless. So then Maya has stolen their intelligence. They become fools, rascals, mudha, naradama, lowest of mankind. The only cause of problems is forgetfulness of Krishna. Then he said, even 1% of population accepts Krishna, then he related it to one moon. One moon brightens everything, but the stars don't provide any brightness, not for us at least. Similarly, each devotee should become a moon and enlighten the world. Then all become a sun and moon, then you'll be happy and people will also be happy by the influence of Krishna consciousness. So, wonderful lecture by Srila Prabhupada. And again, we already talked about the Rath Yatra. We are in the middle of the week. Have a nice, wonderful weekend and join us in City Island, which is right off of the Market Street Bridge. You get on Market Street in Harrisburg, it's a very popular street. Middle of the bridge over the water, halfway, big sign says City Island. Go and park there, free parking is plenty of parking. More parking than we all can even accommodate or take with our cars. There's plenty of parking. So please come. And those who are, again, inform other people, one more announcement. Those who are a little bit challenged physically because of old age or disease, there is going to be a provision of it's like a structure, motorized structure that you can sit, you got seats in the back, and they'll actually drive you up the hill from the parking lot to the site where the Rath Yatra will take place. Okay,
Yeah,
so,
in many words, what we have is called electric taxis. That's what it's called.
but it's free for
Electric
devotees.
taxis. Yeah.
Yeah, it's free for devotees.
It's free, but we're asking devotees to tip the drivers because the drivers, so.
That just comes with the territory, yeah. So that is there. And anyone with situations, the physical body, that situation will be accommodated to the best of our ability. We have the arrangements. Just let one of us know and we'll help you out. But so do come. Hare Krishna. Any final comments? If not, then thank you very much for coming on. Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripāsindhubhya eva ca patitānaṁ pāvanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you again. Hare Krishna.